Every year, there are players who are the difference between making the playoffs or being just outright terrible. And the Yankees are a team that has a lot of question marks on their roster, although they are pretty talented ones. Today, we're going through 5 X Factor players for the Yankees who could have good years and change the way that we look at this 2024 team and perhaps take them to new heights and potentially get them to the promised land. While not all of these guys are young budding stars, or while not all of these guys have even major league experience, these are guys who I think could change the outlook of this team and have a pretty big impact on the way that this roster is constructed, and also have a big impact on what the Yankees have to do at the deadline to complete this team. Without further ado, let's get through our top 5 X Factors on the Yankees this season. Before we get into today's video, make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell to check out Fireside Yankees and not miss out on a single piece of content we're dropping on this YouTube channel. We'd really appreciate it, and over 50% of our viewers aren't subscribed, so let's put a nice little dent in that number. Thank you again for tuning in, and let's get into today's video. A 29-year-old catcher entering his age 30 season, Jasson Escarra has yet to make his major league debut, and yet he found himself placed on the Yankees 40-man roster this past winter and has a real chance to become the backup catcher in spring training. The lefty swinging Hialeah native didn't shine in AA, posting a 102 WRC plus and a 374 slugging percentage, but after promotion to AAA, he was able to find his power stroke, hitting 8 home runs in 52 games with a 142 WRC plus and a 527 slugging percentage. The Yankees have done a great job developing defense behind the plate, and Escarra is a well-regarded defender at the catcher position. The catcher position is one where depth is important, and while I don't expect Escarra to be the starter at the major league level this year, having a capable backup option in case of an injury or an emergency is definitely important. It's hard to judge data for someone who is considerably older than the competition he's playing against, but Jasson Escarra ranked in the 90th percentile in zone contact rate and the 92nd percentile in chase rate. He was pretty aggressive attacking pitches in zone as well, and pulled a good amount of his fly balls, which as a left-handed hitter is going to work in Yankee Stadium. With the combination of plate discipline, contact, and game power, the Yankees could have a legitimate option at catcher who can be a backup that has also played some third base and first base last season. It's not a bad idea to have a utility guy like that on the bench to supplement the roster, especially considering how dire their infield situation is at the moment. Will Warren had a .431 BABIP allowed last season, and that alone makes him an easy candidate to improve off of an ugly 2024 campaign where he put up an ERA north of 10. And the underlying metrics suggest that he should have been more of an average starter than an abhorrent one. With 2 fastballs, a good sweeper, a cutter, and a changeup, the Yankees should be able to get Warren to excel in a hybrid role. The Yankees have shown patience with young pitchers, and it's paid off for them big time, with Loáisiga, Goldschmidt, and Michael King not breaking out until after their age 25 seasons. The right-hander has unique arm angles with pitches that generate tons of movement, and that should allow him to pick up more whiffs if he can figure out some of his command issues. He'll run into trouble when he hangs his sinkers and sweepers, but if the Yankees can get him to better locate those pitches on the edge of the plate, he can get more weak contact and more swings and misses. He profiles very similarly to Michael King, with Baseball Savant giving him a 0.99 similarity score to the Padres ace, meaning he's a near 1-to-1 clone of King in terms of delivery, pitch mix, and movement profiles. Steamer projects Will Warren to put up a 3.67 ERA and a 3.76 FIP in 35 innings this season, and if the Yankees end up trading Marcus Stroman, he slots into a pretty important role as a 6th starter for the New York Yankees. Whether it's as a starter or as a reliever, 2025 could be a career-defining year for Will Warren, and he could either sink or float this team if someone goes down with an injury in camp, or if he makes the team out of spring training in a bullpen role. Signed to a 1-year, $12 million contract, Paul Goldschmidt is the Yankees' patchwork acquisition to try and fix the first base position after they got legitimately nothing from their first baseman in 2024. Over the past 2 seasons, the Yankees have ranked dead last in OPS at .653 and in slugging percentage at .353 from their first baseman, and they desperately need things to change in that department if they want to compete for a World Series this upcoming season. The 2022 NL MVP is coming off of a career worst year where he posted a 100 WRC plus and a 26.5% strikeout rate across 154 games. Being a league average hitter at the first base position is not going to cut it, and he's going to have to make improvements in order to be a worthwhile investment for the Yankees. The veteran first baseman is entering his age 37 season and still hits the ball extremely hard, but makes less contact than he has in previous years while also making worse swing decisions. The Yankees are hoping that Paul Goldschmidt's second half is a better reflection of the player he'll be in 2025. One thing that can help Paul Goldschmidt is that short porch in right field, as last season, Goldschmidt would have added 6 home runs if he played all of his home games at Yankee Stadium. I believe it could be super beneficial for Goldschmidt to have a right field like the short porch in Yankee Stadium because it may allow him to see pitches deeper in the zone, such as high velocity fastballs and breaking balls, 2 types of pitches that gave him a lot of struggles in 2024. He does not have the same quick hands he had when he was younger, and while his bat speed isn't bad, it's not the elite rate that it was when he was winning MVPs in 2022 or was a consistent all-star with the Arizona Diamondbacks. To adjust for that, Goldschmidt tried to pull the ball more in the air, which has caused him to make worse swing decisions as he's making earlier swing decisions, giving him less time to track a fastball or a breaking ball and identify whether it's going to be a pitch in the zone or out of the zone. The short porch in right field creates a larger margin for error, as even if he's late on a fastball and shoots it to right field, it could still leave the yard or be a double off the wall. Yankee Stadium is not a ballpark for hitting singles, but it's a ballpark for hitting home runs, and considering that Paul Goldschmidt isn't going to try and hit 300 this year, I think that fits his profile pretty well. If Goldschmidt is able to make the right adjustments and adapt to Yankee Stadium, the Yankees might end up getting that projected 110 to 115 WRC plus out of him, which various projection metrics have him in that kind of range. If they do, his 1-year $12 million contract will look like a steal. Jonathan Loáisiga is one of the filthiest relievers in the game when he's healthy, and the Yankees signed him back after undergoing elbow surgery in April last season. Since the 2021 season, Loáisiga's had a 2.89 ERA and a 3.16 FIP, but he's averaged under 40 innings a season and has just 20 MLB appearances over the past 2 years. His blazing hot sinker is one of the best sinkers in the game, but the Yankees need to help Loáisiga decrease his sinker usage from around 67% back to where it was during his breakout 2021 campaign, which is around 55%. While he might allow a little more damage contact, his best season in terms of ground ball rate and sinker efficiency actually came in 2021, as nowadays he's become just a bit too predictable for hitters who are sitting on that sinking heater. The Yankees could have him specifically increase his curveball usage, as it's one of the best breaking balls in all of baseball. Among breaking balls thrown at least 400 times since 2021, Loáisiga's curveball has the 9th best weighted on base average allowed, while also having a whiff rate north of 46%. His firm changeup is another weapon that can generate whiffs and soft contact, and if Loáisiga can strike out about 20% of batters faced while having a ground ball rate nearing 60%, he could be one of the better relievers in baseball this season and provide a different look to Devin Williams and Luke Weaver, who rely on changeups and four-seam fastballs. Loáisiga has been dominant when healthy, and there's a reason the Yankees brought him back to the roster. If Loáisiga can be a frontline reliever, if he could pitch the way he did in 2021 or something close to it, this bullpen could end up being historically good. There was once a time in which everyone thought that Jonathan Loáisiga would become the future closer of the Yankees, and while injuries have derailed him, he has a chance to get back on track, and while he won't be the closer of this team, he could certainly be one of their most important pieces and one of their best signings of the offseason. The Yankees' top prospect. If Jasson Dominguez has a breakout season that many are hoping he could have, then they could have a young, budding star who fills a very important role in their offense. I don't expect Jasson Dominguez to lead off on opening day, but he certainly has the skills to do so, as his patient eye and remarkable base running skills make him a threat to get on base and wreak havoc on pitchers as they try to pitch to the ever-terrifying Aaron Judge, while also trying to hold Jasson Dominguez at first base. In AAA, Dominguez had a 101.6 mile per hour 50th percentile exit velocity and a 108 mile per hour 90th percentile exit velocity, making him one of the strongest hitters in pro ball, and he does an excellent job of consistently generating high exit velocities. His ability to not only crush the ball on contact, but also make a lot of contact inherently makes him unique, and his patience is coupled with a tendency to attack hittable pitches in the heart of the zone. Jasson Dominguez could hit 25 home runs and steal 25 bases, and the short porch is a great fit for his swing from the left-handed side, as he does pull a lot of his fly balls. Where the Yankees will have to help Dominguez this season is in terms of helping him find a defensive home in the outfield, whether it's left or center field, while also developing his swing from the right-handed side of the plate a little bit more. Steamer projects for a 112 WRC+, 18 home runs, and 18 stolen bases this season across 136 games for Dominguez, and I think anyone would take that from the young switch hitter in 2025. The question is whether he could hit his upper percentile outcomes and overperform this mark, as his upside is perhaps the highest on the team outside of Aaron Judge's. If he can get closer to that 120 to 125 WRC plus range in his rookie season, we could be talking about the kind of player who galvanizes this Yankees offense in 2025. There is a ton of talent here, and Jasson Dominguez could also make history by winning Rookie of the Year, as it would be just the third time in Major League Baseball history that a team has had back-to-back Rookie of the Year winners. Two of those instances would both be Yankees, which was actually a trifecta and a three-peat from 1925 to 1927. Jasson Dominguez has been waiting for so long for this opportunity. He has been a top prospect since he's 16 years old. And if it wasn't for the COVID pandemic and for Tommy John surgery, this opportunity likely would have come around a lot earlier in his career. But the time is now for Jasson Dominguez. It is his chance, it is his time to become a star caliber player. And if the Yankees can develop a homegrown player like Jasson Dominguez and pair him with someone like Austin Wells and Anthony Volpe and Loáisiga and Clark Schmidt, then the Yankees might be able to form a young core around Aaron Judge and maybe, just maybe, win the 2025 World Series and finally bring number 28 to the Bronx after 16 years of waiting. Jasson Dominguez is not going to be the best player on the New York Yankees. Or at least I hope he doesn't have to be, because Aaron Judge should be. But if he could end up becoming the second best player on this team and become an all-star caliber player, the Yankees just become that much better. He will struggle, he will look like a rookie at times, but if Jasson Dominguez can put it all together this year and take the lessons he's learned from his brief time in the big leagues in 2023 and 2024, we could see him be truly the biggest X factor on this team, the biggest difference maker on this team in terms of last year to this year with his dynamic speed and dynamic power.
Perfect.